One day I will be prepared to do this. One day. That day is not today. I'm going to hope, though, that YouTube is being predictably bad about sending out notifications. So I have time to tweet about this without it being kind of embarrassing. But if you're watching the playback, hello. And if you're actually did get a notification from YouTube that I went live, I am kind of surprised. I guess while I'm in here and getting this link, I can update the description. Wow, would you look at that? I'm assuming YouTube is sending out notifications. I know that I tweeted I was going live, but there wasn't a link. So, hello, welcome. I am fresh out of the shower. I have candle going. Hopefully that means I will actually do some reading sprints. One would hope. Hello. I have not done any reading recently, so we know that I need to do reading sprints. But we will see if that is actually the case. Okay, quote tweeted. So here we go. Fun. Let me know what I need. If I find the thing, I need to finish Jade War. I'm so close. You can't even. Well, you can kind of see. So close to the end here, and so close to the end. So I wanna finish that so I can do a video. Not sure how that's gonna go, but I know that I want the video made, so that's what I want to do. I'd also like to finish another book this month. I haven't finished that many books, and October is almost over, so you hate to see it. Hello, welcome. I need to pull up the timer. And then I can stop being distracted. And I can focus on what is going on over here. Okay, so we have a timer. We have tweeted. We have done the necessary things. So, fun. Welcome. Let me know how you're. That would bother me. So let me close that now. How has everyone's week been? I had a very average week at work, so I'm happy. Today, what did I do today? I went to the bookstore today. That's always dangerous. But I only bought one book, and I'd already read it, so I don't hate myself. I mean, I hate myself a little bit because I will be going back to that used bookstore, and I hate that it's so far away. But I will be making another trip. I just couldn't bring myself to do that. You're going to be reading Love Boat Taipei. Hello. It's good. You slept and read, so you're happy. I was off school this week, so it was great, and you got a lot of reading done. See, I wish I could be like you. What I really wish was that YouTube would give me these comments. So let me actually be over there, StreamYard, because StreamYard, that was a really bad delay. I don't think it's ever been that bad. Hello. Went to the apple orchard. That sounds fun. You love an orchard. Hi, Tammy. I was really sad. I think I had just woken up from a nap, and I saw that I missed your live, and I was like, I guess I could watch the playback, but I was just too sad. Went to the library today. You returned some. You got some. I need to go to the library tomorrow, but I also need to talk to my library because I returned quite a few books last week. And they're still on my account. So I'm going to need them to rectify that because I do not have possession of those books. Also, Jade City, I think, is due tomorrow. So I should probably actually return that book. But this library doesn't have fines. So I'm also like, I could just keep it until I film the review, but I'll probably return it. I also want to say that I think that it's I thought Miss Fonda Lee was a popular author. Maybe that was just wish fulfillment. But I feel like when I lived in California, I would see her books at the bookstore fairly regularly. And I've come to Kansas and I haven't seen her anywhere. Haven't seen her at the used bookstore. Haven't seen her at the new bookstore. Maybe if I had gone to Barnes & Noble, I was out and about today. Maybe if I had gone to Barnes & Noble. Maybe I'll go to Barnes. I'm not going to go to Barnes & Noble tomorrow. I need to stop. But have yet to find a Miss Fonda Lee book out in the wild. You're in the middle of 4 books, so you're ready to finish something. That would be very much me. Legendborn. I've heard lots of positive things about that one. And I have seen that in the wild. I have seen that at the bookstore. I missed me. I wish I could have been there. But today I have done nothing. I filmed a discussion video this morning. That is probably a hot mess and I probably won't even bother editing. But because I woke up so early to film that, I've just been taking naps. Like I filmed that discussion video and I took a nap. And then I was like, I guess I'll go to the bookstore. And I got home and I took another nap. Empire of Gold or Addie LaRue. I would recommend Empire of Gold. I haven't read it, but I would recommend that one. Also, S.A. Chakraborty, her books are also nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be. I take it back. I think I might have seen Empire of Gold at the Books A Million. I might have seen it. But again, I'm like, where's the stock? Where is it? The library doesn't have fines. I guess they got rid of fines in like July. I mean, obviously, I guess if like you damage a book or like you just never ever return it, they charge you to replace it. But there's no overdue fines, and you can have out an unlimited number of books. And the selection isn't actually that bad. I was kind of like, I don't know, is it going to be that good? But the selection at the library isn't too bad. I'm not mad about the selection at the library. So when I was actually, the first couple of times I went to the library, I just like requested titles that I already knew. But they recently reopened browsing. So I was, in the library for a good hour last Sunday. And I found quite a few things. And I haven't touched any of them, but they're in my possession. My library says they aren't quarantining books. They aren't sanitizing books between people, which I'm not too mad about that because like I don't understand like what you're just like rubbing alcohol on the covers. Like I could do that. Like you can't sanitize the individual. Like, I don't understand how long it's supposed to live on the pages, and I don't know. So I appreciate libraries that are like disinfecting books or whatever. And when I was browsing the library, I tried not to actually touch books I wasn't going to check out. I just looked them up on Goodreads. But no, so I need to talk to them. So I probably will go to the library tomorrow. I don't think mine was because of Miss Rona. It seemed like a pretty permanent decision. I don't know though. I didn't ask them about it because I don't mind. I don't do that. Not scared to read Jade War. I think when I first started reading Jade War, I was really enjoying it, and then I kept reading, and I still enjoy it more than Jade City, but I don't know. I side-eye a lot. Anytime Andon comes up, I'm like, are we going to do anything here? But I still like it more, I think. Hello, happy you could make it, Heather. I think we will do the first sprint at 15, so it's like a little 5-minute warning. I think I have found the motivation to read. So, hello, Tasha. Happy you could make it. That's fun. I haven't personally sanitized any of my library books. Also, I guess I read Jade City from the library, and I'm reading Jade War from the library, but those are like the only 2 library books I've actually read. Hello, Jennifer. Look, I don't hate Andon. I think that Andon has the potential to be the most interesting character, especially with what is happening in Jade War and where I'm assuming a Jade Legacies could go. Like after what happened in Jade City, I was like, I'm really interested to see how you're going to continue to include this man as a perspective. But what I don't appreciate are these Hilo Andon moments. No, not a fan. Don't want it. Return to sender, please. But also, I don't like how Fonda Lee has written homosexuality into her series. Not a fan. I wasn't a fan in Jade City, and I continue to not be a fan. And I think what it boils down to is I don't trust Fonda Lee to write Andon, and I would prefer if he not play a central role in Jade Legacy. But again, I don't understand how he could not. But I'm also very interested, like, who at its Orbit, right? Like, this is an Orbit book. Of course, there's the sticker right over it. Of course. Of course. Isn't it supposed to be, like, right here? Of course, the page is on I can't flip to because I don't have talent. Is it from Orbit? Yes. I also need to know who at Orbit I need to talk to get the arc of Jade Legacy, because I need it. Like, so I don't trust her, but like I also need. It's a very complicated dynamic. You need to read Brother Song. You just finished Heart Song. You don't think you're emotionally ready yet. You're gonna start on Monday. You're gonna try Came from the Sky tonight. I can read, allegedly. I have not heard of. I think Heart Song and Brother Song are those like TJ Klune books? Those sound like TJ Klune titles. But I haven't heard of Came from the Sky Tonight. I haven't read anything. I haven't read any of them, obviously. I don't even know who the author is, but good evening. Well, yeah, welcome. Okay, so yeah, in the little pamphlet of information they gave me when I got my library card, they tried to explain why they went fine free. Apparently, they don't really make money from overdue fines, and I kind of understood that because I pay my overdue fees, but that'd be like 30 cents. I don't really understand how you'd be. I don't think you make a lot of money off even 100 people. I don't know how many people regularly use a library for the books. I think that people use the library for other services like internet access and printers. But overdue book fees, I don't think you're really going to become a millionaire. So I understand why they got rid of them. Hello, happy you could make it. I'm happy it was Orbit because I was really about to embarrass myself in front of 22 people. And it was TJ Klune. You're finishing Thunderhead. Oh, you're reading. It came from this. Oh, one sec. I would love for this. Apparently, you're saying It Came from the Skies by Chelsea Sadati. I think Chelsea Sadati also wrote that garbage book, fucking The 100 Lives of Lizzie Lovett. I hated it. I think it was like my first arc, and I was so excited to get it on NetGalley. No, trash. I hope that It Came from the Sky is better. I don't know what this is. But apparently, I don't use Wattpads. I don't understand what's available and what's not. But it is 15, and I am late. I don't even have the screen share going. This is terrible. But we'll be back in 20 minutes. And yeah, back in 20 minutes. Happy reading. May you get all the pages in. So that was 20 minutes. I just got to page 40. I'm not sure where I would count it because I got there as the timer was going off. I'm not sure. Like, I think... what can I say about what I read when what I read is like almost the end of the book? You know, like, what can I say that isn't a spoiler? Something happened, and I don't want to say that it was predictable because I didn't think what happened was going to happen, but I knew something bad was going to happen. I thought that was very obvious. I thought that was telegraphed quite a bit, which I'm going to say is a bad thing because I do think that Fonda Lee so far has been able to craft a narrative where I can't do that, where I don't see things coming, where I'm like, the pieces were all here, they just weren't assembled. So kind of annoyed about that. I felt this really bad sense because before I got to that particular chapter, I was like, I want more of Wen. I want a Wen perspective, and then I got a Wen perspective. So you hate to see it. Hilo is annoying. That man deserves no rights. Like, zero rights. And the fact that I have to continue to read about this man, why? Like, what is the reason? Like, insert Cardi B. Like, what is the reason? Like, what? Like, where is it? I fail to see why I need to read about this man. I hope it goes better. I hope it goes... I mean, to be fair, The 100 Lies released 2006. I was about to say 2012, but that was definitely like 2016. So, hello, Mel. Happy you could make it out. 24 pages. You listened to 20 minutes while you ate your burrito. Burrito. I do like a good burrito. Hilo does suck. Hilo is like... he is the worst character in the whole series, and I don't understand him. I wish that I did. I wish that I could like vibe, get on the train, but that left the station. But to this point, I mean, I guess Hilo was kind of involved in the moment that I don't want to talk about, but it wasn't a Hilo moment. So that was cute, I guess. I think that I just don't like the... like, people try to tell me. They tried to like convince me this was Shay's book. And like, Shay has more perspective in this book. But I think that like Hilo, he just be all up in the mix. And I'm like, sir, what if we removed you from the mix? What if we did that? What if we just took you out, just yanked him from the narrative? I personally would like to see it. Valid. Started Mooncakes, and it's super cute. I think I read Mooncakes this year. Might have been last year. I read Mooncakes. It was cute. It's pretty accurate. I like the art. I'd say the only reason I don't hate Hilo is because he's exactly who he's supposed to be. But I think that everyone else is different than a person you'd expect in that position. And Hilo is like flat. Like, everyone else, like, there's a little spice to the little archetype that they were built on, like that they were built from. And Hilo's like, no, like there's not like no salt, no pepper. We're not even cooking it with like oil. Like, you're putting water in a skillet and heating up your food in water. Like, that's Hilo. If it helps you, I am on page 440, and it happened a little bit before page, not 440, I'm on page 447, and it happened a little bit before page 447. and I saw something bad was going to happen. And what happened? Something bad. So you hate to see it. Hello. I think we'll do the next sprint. 45? 4 minutes is enough time. 45. Yeah, he gives absolutely nothing. Well, how far are you into it? I'm assuming you're more than 11 pages in. I can't judge anybody for taking their time to read something because I've been reading Jade War for what feels like forever. And I'm almost done. I am so close to being finished. We'll see if I stream long enough to finish it tonight. Probably won't. That would probably be a lie. But maybe. That would be nice. I have like 140 pages to go. Roughly. It looks like there's about, I have exactly 140 pages to go. Which isn't too much. But I'm not going to make any promises that I know that I can't keep. And finishing this book is probably a promise I can't keep. Again, I'm excited for Jade Legacy. But I'm also very, very nervous. Because with 140 pages left, it's very clear that I'm not going to get... I think that Jade City very much had like a trajectory once you got to the middle and that event happened. Like there was a trajectory to it. Whereas Jade War is like that thing that happens in a trilogy where the second book is very nebulous and it doesn't really... There's a lot of events that are occurring, right? Like there's a lot of... there's been backstory. There's been things that are doing the thing. But are we pushing forward in a plot? No. Wouldn't say that. We've been reading the same book for the entire month, enjoying it, but you're doing research at the same time. Well, if you're doing research, I think that makes sense. You haven't read that much. Personally. In this one, I'm halfway through Legacy of Ash. We got to the 400 page mark. Oof. But that's halfway through, so I think that's still pretty good. That's progress. It's not like you're only on page 11, so I would be happy. I personally would be happy with 400 pages in a week. Probably because I don't read during the week. So, although maybe I will this week because I get off work early on Thursday and I get off work early on Friday. So maybe this will be my reading week. We'll see. Yes, it really... This book has no plot. Like this book, I've said that a lot this year, that the book doesn't have a plot. But with Jade War, I mean like no plot. Not even like... I would even agree that there's a very little arc. I think Andon tried to have an arc, and that got shut down real quick. And Hilo, that man don't know growth. I think he's still the same size he was when he was born. He just... What is growth? So, there's very little plot, but a lot of things are happening, which is interesting. Very interesting. It's very nebulous. I'm not sure how to vibe with it, but it is what it is. It is 50. It's 50. It's not 50. It's 45 though. So it's time for me to shut up, bring back the timer, and I'll see all of you in 20 minutes. So that was 20 minutes. Kind of sad because it's in the middle of a win chapter, but we gotta stop where we gotta stop. I made it to page 484. So what is that, like 37 pages? Not too bad. I'll take it. If I hadn't stopped to tweet about a moment that had me laughing, I probably could have made another 40. But again, we're getting there. Super close to the end, so can't be too upset. Feel free to share what y'all got to. Haha, here we are. Lost track of time. You think you're going to like this. You're 10% of the way in. What were you reading again? Let me scroll back up. Let me refresh my memory. Maybe I won't be refreshing my memory. Love Boat Taipei. And you think you're going to like it at 10%. Another 20 pages, roughly. You read about 20 pages, 15 pages of Addie LaRue. I know Heather was here, and apparently Heather really liked that. But I refuse to watch the review. Happier people are out here liking it. Confusion. I'm sure if I watched the review, I wouldn't be confusion, but confusion. I hope you like it though, especially if you purchased it. If you bought it, I definitely hope you like it. Okay, I was right. Love Boat Taipei. I remembered. Sort of. We had to refresh, but I need to start that too. Okay, I got things to read. There's a character you already loathe. If he doesn't face consequences, you're going to be mad. You loathe them after like 40-ish pages. This must be a terrible character. There's also a Chelsea Sidoti book. Again, I only read The 100 Lives of Lizzie Lovett, but confusion, massive confusion. I think that in the time since that book has come out, I've seen more positive things about it, but I did not understand what I was reading. 8 pages of Chain of Gold. Sometimes I glance over at my copy of Chain of Gold and I'm like, maybe I should read this. Like, maybe, I don't know. Probably should. I also occasionally refresh the Waterstones page to see if there's going to be a Rune edition of Chain of Iron. So, my copies will match. And so far, that has not happened. 20 pages of Permanent Record. You have 30% left and you're really liking it. I am happy. Permanent Record was like top book of last year. If you watch my favorite books of 2019 video, I don't think I actually put Permanent Record at number 1. But like it's up. Like it's there. Like, so good book. Spoilers for next year's Choices Book Club. I do think we will be picking up some Mary H.K. Choi. There might be a theme. Maybe a theme for the first couple of months. Perhaps. Maybe. Just possibilities. Another 10 pages of Beast Made of Night by Tochi Anabuchi. Is it good? I only hear good things about this author. I haven't read anything by them, but I always hear really good things. Another 11 pages, and we are deep in a war scene. Isn't that the whole book was like a war fantasy? I don't read a lot of war fantasy. I think this little Malice book I'm supposed to be reading. Erin she alleges that I think the live show for this is supposed to be like next Saturday. I haven't touched this, so talk about alleged. But I think that's also supposed to be more fantasy. We'll see. Well, I got a lot of reading to get done. He constantly lies for attention. He's creating problems. Wouldn't care if it's just him distracting his brother into the drama. Interesting. You're supposed to read City of Fallen Angels next. City of Fallen Angels. Is that book? I always get like 4 and 5 confused, but 4 and 5 are actually good books. Like, they're not terrible. Like, I didn't think they were terrible. If you, again, my Goodreads be deceiving people, but I thought they were enjoyable. I wouldn't be nervous. Again, the Mortal Instruments, the flavor that whole series have. People get really tied up about that stupid little 3 seconds of like, are they brother and sister? But like, literally everybody in this world is a cousin fucker, and so pointing to Jason Clary, I think, is a little suspect, because the rest of y'all faves are all cousin fuckers. Like, so what do you want? Like, if you are shipping, I think there's like 5 ships in this world that aren't cousin fuckers. So that particular criticism, or the Mortal Instruments, I just ignore, because the whole world revolves around incest in that setting. So I think City of Fallen Angels is good, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Okay, it's good so far. You're making us wait till next year to know the theme for the Choices Book Club. I will announce it. I don't think there will be a November book. I'm not going to try and do a December book because there's all kinds of winter holiday mess going on. We're not going to do it. So we'll take December off. And then, so when I announce the November pick, I will also make an announcement for the 2021 picks, because I do have the first 3 months of 21 planned out. I have finally stepped it up. I have no idea what we're reading next month, but 2021, I have thought it through, and I'm excited. I'm very excited, because I think that they will. Am I imposing Mary H.K. Choi supremacy on my channel? Yes, but I don't care. You got Malice in the library, you couldn't get into it. For a long time, I thought Malice, because this book, it just looks like a self-published book to me. Maybe that's offensive. I don't know. But I thought it was self-published for like the longest. And then I was like, you see it at Barnes & Noble's. Like, maybe it's not actually self-published. When I was browsing last Saturday, I saw book 3 at my library in hardcover. And I was like, this isn't hardcover. Just like today, I was at, I went to like the next city over to their used bookstore, which again, dangerous place, because that store was like filled to the brim with books. Filled to the brim. New releases in somewhat okay condition. Old releases, was all over the place. But I saw the Expanse series. I think they had like book number 5 on hardcover. And I was like, they make the Expanse in hardcover? Because I have never seen an Expanse book in hardcover. So it was a day of eye-opening moments for me. Okay, Legend of Bass is not all war stuff. And Malice, you just swooned for Malice. I'm hoping that I like it, because allegedly, I'm supposed to have this read by next Saturday. So, am I about to be a clown? I don't know. Notes were taken. You read the Mortal Instruments before knowing all the drama, and I remember not having an issue with the whole maybe sibling thing. Yeah, like when I first read it, way back in the day, pulling out my Christina Riccio fan card here, I also read it as they were released. And like, was it a scandalous moment? Sure, like, okay. But the way that I see people dunk on it about like the maybe siblings, I'm like, you clearly haven't read past this, because if you're gonna dunk on a creepy sibling in the Mortal Instruments, Sebastian is right there. Like, that man has actual issues. Like, that's the actual creeper. That man, questionable. But those first two books, like, sure. Is it a moment? Yes. But everybody is a cousin fucker. So I just ignore it. Like, it's an easy Twitter point, but it doesn't affect me. I think we will do the next sprint at 20 because I talked for so long. And I want to give people, notice. I feel like nobody ever really brings up valid criticisms. Yeah, I mean, I don't really go out of I like to think I'm not the stereotypical Cancer, but I don't really. The More Interest is not one of my favorite series, just to, like, full disclaimer. But in general, like, if I really enjoyed a thing, you will not catch me in the streets reading 1-star reviews because I am a sensitive person and I'm not really here to watch my favorites get dragged like that. So I don't seek those out. So I assume that there are people who have reviews out there with criticisms beyond Jason Clary. I assume that they exist because I have plenty. I actually don't even know what my reviews are for the. I know I made a reading vlog for Bones and City of Ashes. I remember that was like a combo reading vlog I filmed. I don't think I did one for City of Glass or Fallen Angels or Heavenly Fire. Heavenly Fire is a damn good book. I will give Miss Claire that. She is a terrible human, but City of Heavenly Fire, her best book. So, like, I assume that there are criticisms out there. I might have brought some of them up in those reading vlogs I was just mentioning, but I don't know. I just see people talk about Jason Clary, and then they'd be like, Infernal Devices is superior, and I'm like, where? And then The Dark Artifices, I've made that very clear how I feel. So I definitely think that there are valid criticisms people have made. I think people just be retweeting boring ones. People that make videos about reading 1-star reviews, yeah, I would never. Like, I don't like torturing myself. Like, I like enjoying my life as much as possible. And so to read people actively, like, not liking it, like, sure, there are reviews where it's like, you were clearly here to drag the thing. And then there are things where it's like, this is constructive, we'll say. Like, actually, not even say constructive, but, like, they might even be dragging the book, but, like, the points they're making, like, I can't argue with. And I don't even want to read those reviews. Like, you think I was out here reading 1-star reviews of Permanent Record? No. No. I will not be doing that. You think I was out here looking at 1-star reviews of Emergency Contact? No. So I read negative reviews of things I give, like, 4 stars and below. And 4 stars are kind of pushing it. If I'm, like, averaging and it's like a 3-star, I will definitely be reading a 1-star review. But if it's like a favorite, I'm just kind of like, I personally gain nothing from seeing the other side. Yeah. Goodreads, I'm sure, has to say. That's, yeah, probably accurate. Yeah, that's how I feel. I have a lot to say about hate reading, so I'm going to come back to this comment after because I only have like 30 seconds until 20 and I don't want to push it back. But we will be talking about some hate reading because I feel like that's important for me to talk about. It's probably not actually, like, important, but I do want to talk about it. So while I wait, I'm going to add this back to the stream because it's almost time. And see you guys back here in 20 minutes. So I read roughly 30, a little over 30 pages. I'm on page 519. I do not appreciate what I have been, I don't want to say forced because like I chose to read this, but I feel personally attacked by what I had to read. And there's not even much left. So I've been attacked this close to the end of the goddamn book. And Jade Legacy doesn't come out for how long? Miss Fonda, I need the arc. I have trust issues right now. But that aside, love to see it. I don't know. This was a very last minute thing, so that probably is why. We have one more sprint to go. We'll probably do that one. Will we do it at 1:00? Let's do it at 1:00. Let's do it at 1:00. But I did want to go back to this one about hate reading because I kind of agree. Like I think people think that I'd be out here hate reading books. But the only hate reading I do is when I get to the 50% mark and I'm like, I should DNF this, and then I don't DNF it. I don't ever go into a book like, let's drag, we're hate reading. Life is too short and I read too slow. So this is probably the most healthy view to have. And I appreciate negative opinions existing about something that I like. Engaging with their negative opinions, not going to be something that I do. Now that you're working for a living, you miss all the live shows. This is how I feel like Monday to Friday when I'm at work, like all day. And I'm just like, this is not the life I want. This is not it. But Saturday and Sunday, I appreciate it. I haven't dragged anything. Maybe the Dark Artifices. That gets dragged in every live stream. Yes. When she needs to sue Miss Fonda Lee. Because Wen is easily the most interesting character in this whole series. And she is constantly disrespected. Easily the most interesting person that Fonda Lee wrote. And I am upset. I am upset. 30-ish for you as well. Got distracted. Your friends and I are calling out a plagiarist on Tumblr. Fun times. I hadn't heard about Simon Pulse. I did hear that James Patterson's imprint was being shuttered. That one, I don't think I've actually read a James Patterson, a Jimmy Presents book. I do think that here's the thing. I don't think that anybody I think I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about how they built that imprint on the backs of a bunch of marginalized authors. And I do think that's true. I do think that, Natasha Neon, I probably just mispronounced that, but like the Girls of Paper and Fire situation was there. But so was Carrie Maniscalco's books are under that banner. But those are like the only two people that I can think of. Oh, Derek Millman's Swipe Right for Murder was published by that imprint. So like there are, and he's a gay man. So like I understand, but I also am like, James Patterson, if you go into like literally any library, bookstore, used or new, that man has like shelves. So like I don't really think I would say he built his YA imprint off of them. Like I think that he just had the imprint. I do think that it's fucked up for them to just be like, we're not doing this anymore. But they're also publishing the books. So like if they're still gonna fill out the contract, they just won't be signing anything new. So like I don't really know how to feel about it. Like I'm personally not an author. I'm not an editor there. I'm not personally affected by it. And I also know very little of the industry. So I don't have anything to really say. As for Simon Pulse, I don't know what Simon Pulse puts out that's different than like okay, so the one Twitter thread that I saw, the person who like they had like quote tweeted, that account was on lock. And then when I was on Twitter before I got on live, before I hopped in the shower, another editor at the thing was saying that they were still publishing them if they broke the contract. So like if they had a contract for like a 2022 release or something and they aren't going to release it, I think that's kind of fucked up. So if that's what the situation is, then they need to take a moment. We need to, what is going on here? As for Simon Pulse, I don't know what Simon Pulse puts out that's different than like their other young adult imprints over at Simon and Schuster. I don't know. I am not the publishing man, but as long as people are, obviously the editors are going to be eventually out of a job. Like but hopefully something. The Jimmy Presents thing actually don't think is like going away. People are talking about how his books are going to be under them, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know if you need a white imprint to sell your books, but you know, it's not like that. James Patterson is never going away. Never is going away. Can people talk about Girls Paper on Fire that has a final book coming out? The editor that I saw tweet, the one who hadn't locked his account, said books were still going to be published. So that was my understanding. If that is not, obviously, if Natasha tweets out the book isn't coming out, then I'll believe. But I don't follow Natasha. But so that's what I got to say. I need water. Okay. Exactly. And I feel really bad for you. I feel really bad that that's your favorite. But I mean, everyone deserves to have good things. I'm happy you liked it. I just, as a Mortal Instruments supremacist, felt that we already talked about everything there. I have an arc for that one, and I never got around to it. So maybe I should now. It definitely isn't. Definitely is not one of my lies if I don't talk about Miss Cassandra. I am a bad book person. I pay publishers, like what publishers publishing what. I understand. Like I know. I don't know all of their imprints because I'm a bad booktuber, but I just saw a comment, and I'm sorry. I don't pay attention to like I don't know all of Macmillan's like little people, and I don't know all of like Hachette's little people, or Simon and Schuster's like little people, or even like Penguin Random House, who has like a gazillion little people. I don't know all of the imprints, but I usually know who is publishing what, how any of it works. No idea. None, because their socials be promoting the same books. So I think that's what I'm understanding. Now, again, I could be wrong, and Natasha could be tweeting out right now, like, my book isn't coming out, in which case, I would assume that if they shuttered the Jimmy Presents, then whatever publishing house was housing it would just publish the book. Like they would find somewhere else in the company to publish it. Like that's what I would assume would happen. I would assume, because it's not like James Patterson Presents is like a complete offshoot. I don't think. My understanding is that it's like Rick Riordan's one, where he is like under Disney Hyperion, or it might just be Hyperion now. I just bought a book from him, but I don't know where it is, so I can't look. But I would assume that it would just, like if he was like Deuces to Riordan Presents, then it would just move over to like Hyperion Books or something. I mean, I don't think it's a money issue. I don't think it's because they were losing money. Aside from Swipe Right for Murder, all of the other like Riordan Present banner book, which can we talk about how that banner ruined so many covers? So many covers were ruined by that ugly ass banner. But most of them were pretty hyped up on not only on book Twitter, but like BookTube, Bookstagram. Like they were big. So it's not like they were, again, there's always, smaller titles on like a publishing roster. But most of like the Patterson Presents books I was seeing like a hefty amount, because they didn't put out I don't think they put out that many books in a year. And I would say over half of them I was seeing. So I think I don't think it was a money issue. I think whatever is going on over there is purely vanity reasons. I agree. I'm not going to talk about Doru. I'm going to let you experience that journey for yourself. But I thought there are a lot of odd choices in this world. And Fonda seemed to just take all of the odd choices when crafting the story. And I'm not too mad about it. I think that at times it's made for some really interesting exchanges. So, but I do think that I agree with this whole message 100%. And it does. I also don't want to go off too much on Mr. Rick Riordan, because his is like, it's not like a full fucking banner at the top, but the little logo and then Riordan Presents, I think that it also ruins some of the covers. But I also think, I don't read a lot of middle grade, but I think that some of those Riordan Presents covers are hideous, and I don't understand why they look so ugly. Like I think there are clear favorites over at that Riordan Presents banner, because some of the covers are fucking stunning, like Dragon Pearl, the Arusha books, and then some of them I think are just hideous. Like, what? And again, maybe it's just like an art style difference where like if you appreciate that kind of an art style, you like it, and so like that gets a pass. But some of them are questionable, and so I don't understand like why you're gonna just. I also don't know if we need the Riordan Presents banner on the book, period. Like, I don't think we do. Like, you can just put your little thing on the spine, like every other publishing house. Like, it doesn't need to be on the cover that this is your little boutique shingle. But maybe that's just me. Again, I don't really. If I was, someone who had a very long career, and I was setting up my own little thing at a publishing house, I can't imagine I would want my banner on everybody's book that I'm publishing. Like, maybe that's just me. Clearly, it's just me. Oh, that's a great comment from Justice. Come on, StreamYard. Don't make me wait forever. But yes, I kind of agree, Justice. I do think that a lot of people associate those Riordan Presents books with Rick Riordan and not with the author that actually wrote the book. But yeah, and I see, yes, I do think this happens a lot. I see that. But here's my problem, though, is that like it has nothing to do with Rick Riordan. Like, even if I thought that this was going, like, I feel like apparently, I'm not gonna go down that road, but I think that like maybe in middle grade, sure. Like, so if you wanted to like talk about like a Rick Riordan doing it because he writes middle grade, maybe. I don't think anybody is picking up Girls of Paper and Fire or Swipe Right for Murder or Stalking Jack the Ripper because they see James Patterson Presents. I don't know anybody in my age. Did James Patterson write those little Maximum Ride series? Maybe they read a Maximum Ride book. Like, maybe. Maybe they read a Maximum Ride book. But I don't think most people are out here reading. I mean, I know, like, clearly the man, people are reading his books because he got, like, whole fucking shelves. They keep giving him contracts. Like, someone out here is buying his book. But I don't think anybody in my demographic is out here reading a James Patterson book and is like, oh, James Patterson Presents, this is going to slap. This is going to be a banger. Let me read it. No. Middle grade, sure. Like, maybe. Like, maybe in middle grade. But even in middle grade, I don't think that they're dumb. I think they're making different decisions, but like I don't think anyone was looking who I don't know. I think that clearly in middle grade it must be working because he's been doing it the entire time. But I don't know anybody who's like James Patterson recommends this book. Stop. No, nobody. But again, the problem with it I don't think anybody who is that old is reading in the like maybe they're in the YA section of their Barnes and Noble, but most books in Barnes and Noble are like this. And so all you see on the spine is a Jimmy. And you're like, Jimmy, I don't know no fucking Jimmy. And so you see a spine that says Jimmy and you just keep walking. So like maybe if they played for that spot on the display table, they might see James Patterson Presents or they might see Rick Riordan Presents. But I think that the Rick Riordan Presents is low-key more harmful because all of those books get like credited to Rick. And I know that Rick is always out here like, yo, not my book, didn't write that. That's, Kwame or whatever. That's Roshani's book. That's Yoon-Ha Lee's book. He's a good person. Like, I don't think he's a bad person. But I do think there are favorites at his imprint, and the favorites get good covers, and the not favorites get shitty, ugly covers. That's what people have been saying, and all I know is there'll always be more than one person on a James Patterson book that I see now. Like, he'd be like, James Patterson and Bill Clinton. And I'm like, these two men are not writing a book together. Stop. Like, that's just an odd coupling. Like, that was some random intern. Yeah, like, I think people read a James Patterson book. But I'm like, no one's buying a book because it says James Patterson on the cover. Like, that's not a thing that happens. That's not, like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't even think, like, a grandparent trying to buy their grandchild a book is like, oh, James Patterson liked it. Like, no. James Patterson and Bill Clinton have, like, 2 books out or something. They have a whole fucking book series going on. I've heard that too. That's what I've heard too. I don't think that man is out here writing books, but I'm also not writing books, so I don't really. If that's the process that's working for them, these people are all getting paid, I'm assuming. So, well, I'm sorry. I think I tried reading a Maximum Ride book. I don't think I finished it when I was a kid, but I hate that for you. This is probably the best timeline to be in. Wish that could be me. But again, fairly certain that I read one. But it is now time. It is o'clock. So we are going to go into this final sprint, and I will see you all after that. y'all this book. Thoughts, choices. Plenty of both. Plenty of choices, plenty of thoughts. That was the last sprint of the night. I have like 10 pages left. So I will be finishing Jade War tonight. I will then be going to watch the Jade City Simfest over on Aaron's channel because nothing can be spoiled. But I'm here to talk with y'all for the next 10 minutes. We'll end this. Well, now it's like roughly 9. We'll end this stream at 30. Thanks for coming out. We got a lot done. I am very, very happy with how much I got read tonight. So, see, and this is why I don't understand why his name is on the cover of the book and that ugly ass banner. You got 103 paid. No, that is not bad at all. You love to hear it. I guess I got closer to 200. Yeah, I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that at all. Good, because I have a feeling that I have a feeling that she deserves it. Quite the feeling. I'm trying to see where there's an MLM storyline. How do you have a multi-level marketing storyline in a... Is this the TJ Klune book? What? Okay, sir. You're at 27% of... Maybe that's what I'll start tomorrow is Love Boat Taipei. I was going to try and start Crush? Crush is the second one. I don't know. I was also thinking I might do some reading sprints tomorrow, but I don't know. I have errands I need to run. 20 pages. Got 63 total tonight. That's great. You love to hear it. Oh, they came from the sky. I thought they did at first, but then they said they were throwing shade at like MLMs, and that doesn't make sense for that. But maybe. I don't know what this book is about, so I have no thoughts on like whatever's happening. Yeah, I thought she meant multi-level marketing. Usually when I see, yes, pyramid schemes. Anytime I see it capitalized like that, I just go to multi-level marketing because that one's usually capitalized. And I don't ever see, maybe on Twitter I see people referring to this as like queer books, but I feel like that's not very common. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I don't refer to queer books that way, so I don't expect other people to do that. Maybe with sapphic books, I see more people say like women love women. Yeah, that's what I also just know not to associate that. So that was yeah. So over, I don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to rate Jade War, but I guess that's a problem for future Monty. And by future Monty, I mean the Monty in like 20 minutes. 57 pages in total. Look, Crave wasn't... I don't know how I'm gonna review these books, but well, I guess that's kind of a lie because I already wrote a Goodreads review. But it'll be a time. Eventually, I'm going to have to read it. I bought it. This is a book about aliens, but not really. Interesting. Maybe Miss Armentrout ruined aliens for me. Maybe. I don't know. Remains to be seen. I wouldn't say that Crave is a good book, but I do think, like, okay. So I think that like adult paranormal romance has been thriving for like ever. Like adult paranormal romance, like those authors that I hear about all the time who write that, like they've been writing paranormal adult romance, like that genre has like really been thriving. But I think that in the young adult space, it hasn't. Like it clearly dried up. It went away. So I think that when you are reading Crave, it doesn't help that it's in a genre that doesn't have a, in my knowledge base, there isn't a lot of other paranormal YA the way Crave is paranormal YA. Like you could point to like The Beautiful if you wanted to, but that's more like gothic paranormal. Like it's not the same thing as doing something different. And so because it kind of stands alone, you could only compare it to something that you have nostalgia for. So it's like it doesn't, it's not great literature, but it fits the conventions of the genre that it is. Like it is paranormal romance. Like it fits those genres. Like I think that on like a just pure writing standpoint, I don't think Crave is well written, but I don't think that it's because of the genre it's in. I think it's just Tracy Wolff has published too many things. Tracy Wolff looks like the kind of person, most of her covers on Goodreads look like they were self-published, and so the idea that she got to actually like traditionally publish this one, I think is kind of crazy. I think it's a little out there that Entangled is like, sure, we'll rapid release these because the writing is, we could fix it, but I also don't think that they're that invested in fixing it. So the writing is questionable, but as for like, and there is some questionable activity with Flint. That whole Flint dynamic, I am very much looking forward to discussing that because I think we need to crack that one wide open. But I wouldn't say Crave was a terrible book. There is just not a lot in the market in the traditionally published space where it doesn't have that many contemporaries. Like we have to compare it to stuff that was written in 2014. And I don't think it holds up to the stuff that was written in 2014, 2012, 2008. Don't think it holds up. I think that like Beautiful Creatures is low-key better written. But we don't have, you know what I mean? So I think that maybe as we go on, maybe, hopefully, Crave will allow publishers, because it's been on the New York Times bestseller list. So, and so was Crush. So I think that, at least I think Crush was. I think it was on there for like 3 seconds. Maybe it'll be like, okay, we can, and everyone keeps saying the vampires are back. So if y'all are going to say vampires are back, give us some actual paranormal romance again. And maybe once Crave has some contemporaries, like some actual like people, you know, coming out this decade, people will be able to be like, yeah, that one wasn't it, but this one is. And so, I mean, I guess you could argue. Well, no, I wouldn't even argue like Cassandra Clare and Sarah J. Maas are in that space. They write urban fantasy. Cute for them. Love that. Well, allegedly, Sarah J. Maas' stuff wasn't urban fantasy. It was just regular fantasy. But Crescent City is moving into an urban fantasy pace. So that's a thing. Crave is one of those books where no matter how bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a regret. I don't regret purchasing, but I did only purchase because my library did not have it. So if my library had it, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more because I didn't have to pay for it. But it's not terrible. Like I've read terrible books, and I wouldn't call Crave terrible, but certainly questionable. Certainly choices were made. So a contemporary with possible UFO activity. Okay, sounds like the real world. We have potential UFO activity. I think we can call that we can call that contemporary. I'm okay with that. But with that said, it is, let me go over to the stream, make sure. Okay, there's nothing over here on the YouTube one day I'll get through a stream without knocking something over. But thanks for coming out. Thanks for reading with me. Potentially, we'll be back here again tomorrow. But check out the link in below to the Twitter, because that's probably where I'll be announcing it. That's where I'll be for the rest of the night. So enjoy your dinner. Enjoy the reading. And I look forward to seeing y'all again next time. But bye.